Hi, this is a little different than things I normally post on my page, but I thought it would be fun for this Sunday to talk about miracles and coincidences. So, do you believe in miracles or are they just coincidences? I think that little miracles happen to us every day and we just might not be aware of them. But sometimes there's things that happen that you're like, that was a crazy coincidence, but it's just really a miracle. So I'm adopted, and after I turned 18, I started communicating with my birth mother, and then we eventually met. I've never met my birth father, but about 15 years ago, when I was pregnant with my last child, my father-in-law had called me. It was like a Sunday night late. I was feeling miserable, ready to give birth, and he's kind of a jokester, and he was like, I have your half sister here. And I was like, okay, what are you doing? Why are you joking? But he didn't even know her name. And I knew her name because my birth mother had told me her name. And I thought it was interesting because we have the same middle name. So I always remembered her name. So my father-in-law, I thought he was joking, but he's like, we have your half sister here. Evidently, she had pieced a few things together and had left a message on my home phone at the time. I had still hadn't listened to the message and had no idea what was happening. But she ended up putting some pieces together after talking with her dad, which would be my birth father. He had mentioned that I live in this town, and she had no idea. She didn't even know my name, I don't think. And she put it together because she was living right next door to my in-laws for like 3 months. She was living in the same town as me, right next door to my in-laws, and put it together and went over there and said, I think, do you know my half sister? And said my name. And they were like, that's our daughter-in-law. And so my father-in-law called me and we ended up talking on the phone, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening. And I went over there and met her. So she had been living next door to my in-laws for 3 months. I'm sure saw us go in and out of there a lot, and finally put it together and I met her. So I think that was definitely a miracle, not just a coincidence that she was living right next door to my in-laws. I'm not really sure if I'm supposed to learn something from this situation, but it's definitely just a small miracle that has happened, whether just to help us meet or something she needed. Um, but I would love to have just something inspiring to hear about and read on this Sunday. And I would love if you would share any small or big miracle or crazy coincidence that has happened in your life.